Well, the question that everybody wants to find answer to is that who are the real originators of Kente? Some people say it's the Asantis, others say it's the Airways. I'm going to give you a little bit of historical perspective and some simple logic for you to really judge by yourself whether it was the Ashantis that originated Kente or the Airways. Now, everybody knows that Ashanti Kingdom was founded somewhere around 1690 something. By 1700, the Ashanti Kingdom was completely founded. And then they started their war of expansion. Even at the time of foundation, Ashantis could have told everyone that the one who came to really provide a lot of help, who is Okofanochi, they could have told everyone that Okofanochi came from some place around where the kingdom was founded. But no, they told everyone that Okomfanachi came from Ogugwa. You understand? So they didn't really want their kingdom to be anchored on fabrications and lies. That's why they told the real birthplace of Okomfanachi. And what else did they do? When they started their war of expansion, when they went to German to defeat them and then got hold of the Edinkra symbols, okay? Now they didn't really get hold of the Edinkra symbol. What happened? They saw a piece of cloth which really attracted them, which really fascinated them. So when they killed the German king, they took his son and brought him to Ashanti land. Nobody really knew about it. And then they made that particular son teach them how to do the Adinkra symbols. They could have killed him and called the Adinkra symbol a different name. Okay? All the Adinkra symbols that the man, even though the Ashantis have created some new ones, they could have killed the one who came to teach them how to do the Adinkra symbols and then call the Adinkra symbols a whole different name so that they could become the bona fide owners of that particular symbols. But then they didn't do that. They still gave credit to wherever the Edinkra symbols came from. So they called it Edinkra symbols and then they made it popular for everybody to see and learn about it. What else did they do? When they went to a place called Atakwame during their wars of expansion, and then they saw how the people there were were building their houses and all that. They brought a group of people from that place to build houses in their kingdom. And then what did they call that particular or those houses that were built? They called them Atakwame. And I'm sure that anyone who has ever been to Kumasi or the environs of Ashanti will attest to this fact that there are some buildings that are called Atakwame. You understand? Because of the people that came to build it. Now, Ashantis are a group of people that try to give credit to wherever credit is due. So, this particular issue about the Kente, if the Kente was not originally from Ashanti, I'm sure the Ashantis wouldn't have claimed it. They would have given the credit to whoever originated the Kente. But then they didn't do that. Now, this is the simple logic. Let us assume that you don't know anything about history, okay? And then you are just looking at the logical stuff to draw your own understanding. Now, the Ashantis, we know that some a part of the Ashantis moved from Ashanti to settle in Ivory Coast. They are the Boile people, the Bauli people. They settled there. Now, when they settled there, they 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 went there with some of the crafts that they were practicing or that they were learning in Ashanti. So they went there with the Kente. All right, they went there. These are historical facts. Anyone can check it, and then that person will find out this particular thing that I'm talking about. It's a historical fact that is available to everyone. So they went there with the Kente craft. So when you go to Cote d'Ivoire, okay, uh, the Baule people and some other groups they dress by using the Kente for their traditional activities. Now, another group of Ashanti people also moved from Kontasi to settle in Volta environs, specifically Oti. They are the Rara people. They also went to that place with the piece of technology that they learned from the Ashanti. So when the Ewes saw the people that have come to settle there, they got fascinated. They got fascinated by how the people were wearing their kente and all that. So they copied it. And then another thing is that when a group of people are moving from where they are to another place, they somehow copy how the people in the initial place that they were living, how they do their things. They copy it and then bring it wherever they are going. We know that the Airways came from Nigeria, right? They came from Nigeria. So when they came to settle at their present place, we were expecting to see some aspects of Nigerian dressing in the way they do their traditional activities or something. This is a picture of uh, a group of people who we believe that the Ewe people came from them. They are the Oyo people. This is how they dress. Look at it. Compare it to how the Ewes in Ghana dress. Now you could see that the way the Oyo people in Nigeria dress is completely different from how the Ewes in Ghana dress. So even the way the Ewes in Ghana dress, everyone could say, or someone could say that um the way they dress, they copied it from the Akans that they came to meet here, specifically the Ashantis and the Akwamus and the other Akan people. You understand? The way they dress. Just look at the way the people in the Oyo Empire or the people in Nigeria dress and compare it to the way the Ewes in Ghana dress. That alone is enough reason for you to know that the way the Ewes dress here, they copied it from the people that they came to meet, which are the Akans. You understand? So at what point did they create the Kente? At what point did they develop the technology of Kente? The Kente that they came to meet it here. Some of the Ashantis that moved there, they moved there with that technology. So they got hold of it and then they also tried to learn it. Another thing is that these particular Ashantis that moved to the Volta environs, they moved there somewhere around 1700. Okay, during Ossetis's time. They moved there around 1700. And the first time that a group of Ewes came to settle in Ashanti land was during the time that Asante Hene Kofi Kakari signed a security alliance with the Anlos. It was somewhere around 1860s. Okay, he signed a security alliance with the Anlos, and as part of the agreement, some Ashantis were to settle in Volta or the Ewe area, and some Ewes were also to settle in Ashanti area. Some of the Ewes that came to settle in Ashanti area, they came to settle somewhere around Anloga. That's why we call that place Anloga. So it cannot be that those people, the first group of Ewe people that came to settle there were those people. It cannot be that they were the ones that brought the Kente technology to the Ashanti land. Do you understand it? So just compare these facts and see. First, where they moved from, they don't dress like that. Okay, where they moved from, they don't dress like that. So the way they dress, they came to copy it from their accounts. Second, the first group of people that came to settle in Ashanti land came somewhere around 1860. At that time, the Kente technology was already there. Because when you go to the British Museum, a certain um, British officer called Thomas Bondridge, he came to Ghana somewhere around 1806. 1806. And 1806, when he was leaving Ghana, he came to Ashanti Kingdom. At the time, we didn't have anything called Ghana. He came to the Ashanti Kingdom as an ambassador. When he was leaving, the Asante Hene at the time, Osebonsu, gave him a piece of kente cloth, which the British have kept in their museum even up to today. When you go to the British Museum, you see this particular kente cloth that they gave to him. So at the time that some Ewes came to settle in Ashanti land, that technology was already there. You understand? Now just look at or uh, do the analysis yourself. I want you to do the conclusion yourself. Look at this particular presentation and tell me whether the Kinte was originated by the Ewes or the Ashantis. I want you to do that particular conclusion.